rated R fireman over here. He's head honcho.
Why me? I'm definitely not head honcho.
He is professional rim cleaner. It's too long. We're working on this right now. We gotta pull the radiator out. It only had water in it, so we just drained it. And then we'll put antifreeze in it for this winter. But we had a radiator leak this summer, so we just put water in it, then we put a new one in it, and it only had water. But the belt blew up, then we were gonna just put that on, and we found out the bearing for the fan was shot, and now the pump won't come out because you gotta pull the pump out so that you can put the belt in right here, and the pump won't come out, so now we have to do a whole bull crap way of pulling it apart, and it's just a pain in the ass. And I got it half off. I just wanted to record this so that you'd see how much of a pain in the butt this is. So normally, you just pull a bolt out here and on the other side, and you can pull the whole pump off the shaft, and then it all comes right apart. But it's seized together for some reason. So now we be a bitch. Basically. So we gotta pull the housing bracket that holds the pump to the engine off, and then there's like rubber bushings in there that work as dampeners.
Let's go.
It's the right choice, I know.
They work as dampeners, and those were getting sucked out, so we gotta loosen those bolts up, which would be in a pain in the butt, which Christoph's slowly chugging away at. The pump stripped too, not just this coupler, so we have to order that, so the skid steer's not done. Jeez, Christoph, he's rolling in hot. But I need the bale grinder because I gotta put a new auger in that, and we gotta move this. So we're just gonna drive it to the front like this. Hopefully. We got the engine mount on this bar, which is tight, so it should hold the back engine mount good. Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's working. He has no hydraulics because that's the hydraulic pump, but the drive is connected on the front. I do not recommend doing this, but there's no other way. So right now, I'm working on pulling out that auger. I have the new one out there. It's nice and bright. And when I have it out, I'll show you why. It's all crushed in here. But I gotta take the front off first. Christoph's working on this truck. We finally got it back. That was expensive. I gotta take this gear off, the bearing, and then pull the whole auger. It's pretty simple. I already took the chain off. So I got the gear off. The bearing's almost off. I'm just gonna hopefully yank the rest of it out from the back because I hit it with a sledgehammer. I don't care about the shaft, so we're gonna do that. And Christoph's going through some air leaks on the truck. Oh, the bearing came off. Now, get this auger out. There we go. Well, that's from the old one. But last, probably 2 weeks ago, from last year, it was bent from an employee all the way down. And I tried straightening it, but it doesn't work that good. And it just keeps catching hay, so it keeps plugging. And we're sick of the bull crap, so we're putting a new one in. All right. So this right here is what the center of where I guess the center of the bottom, whatever, it's where the auger goes. It's just pretty much the knives right there, and they throw the feed down and the auger works it all back to this blower, and it shoots it up. And this thing looks rough because, I don't know, how many years ago was it?
Probably 10.
Yeah, about 10 years ago. This was in a shed that burnt. And you know what? She didn't die. We brought her back to life. And we never painted it, but it still works. It wasn't a big fire. So I'm gonna go bring in the new auger. That's not supposed to do that. You know what the sad part is, Krista? This is gonna be the shiniest piece on the machine, and no one's gonna be able to see it. It's brand new. And you can't even see it in there. I think this auger looks a lot better shape.
Is it right length? A lot closer than all the ones we had.
Definitely looks. Well, that one we had to cut because we flipped it. So it's a little longer, but the end's smaller. So yeah, it is the right one. So I got the two next to each other. You can see them. They're pretty much identical lengths. What we were talking about was we had to cut this one is because that shaft part that used to go on the gear was on this side, because this used to be the end, and it had the same thing happen to it probably like 5-6 years ago. It got bent and we couldn't bend it back, so we cut it off on that side because this side was still good and flipped it, but we had to cut it to length. So now we can't do it anymore because this side got bent too, because if you put too much material through it and you don't go easy with it, it'll plug up the end and then it gets stuck and does that. So now we're putting a new one in. So I got everything set up on the new auger. I had to work a little bit here on the end. I didn't record any of it because I didn't realize how to do it, and then I just did it right away. I had to cut the end of this open for the keyway so that this longer keyway would sit in here. And that way, if I could grab this. That way the auger can slide on. The reason I need to be able to do that is because I weld the keyway to this because the gear is pretty wore out. So it's kind of all welded to this. I weld the gear to the shaft after so it can't slide off. It's just how it works for this because the factory way it's supposed to be done does not work anymore because of old age and because the way we've taken it on and off so many times. It's just how we have to do it now. But I had to do that, so that works now. I'll be able to slide it in right away. And Christoph was supposed to help me put this back in, which we were talking about while I was doing this. And now that I'm ready to put it in, he disappeared. So I guess I'll put it in by myself. I got it out, I can put it back in. All right, we're gonna get this shoved back in there. I gotta kind of turn it in because the auger is actually a little bit, just a hair bigger than the hole. But I kind of just gotta turn it in. So, this looks rated R fireman over here. Actually going about as easy it came out. I am scratching this new paint. It's not good. It's getting tight. Come on. There we go. It's almost in there. Show you with what I'm working with here. That's the little hole. You can't even see it. It's literally rubbing the whole way. But if I turn it, it magically fits. So, just stick you down here. I don't think you can see from there. You get the rest of the cylinder. we go. Just like that. The auger that was too big fits. Didn't even need any butter. We'll slide in here. You can see a little bit of hay bale twine that forgets to get cut off. But we normally always cut the strings off, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, you can see that the auger sits up just a little bit. That way, not the whole auger is sitting on the floor. The back end will be. That's why the back end wears out too, because it rides on the floor. There's no, whoa, oh, there we go. There's no way to kind of bearing up the back because you need to have it free to let the hay go by, but the front gets held up. We'll angle this the right way. Got that. And there we go. That slid right in. It took longer to set up the camera right there. Jeez. Then it did to put it in. All right. There. Now that's all the way out. I can slide it in or out if I need to. I realize I gotta take the keyway back off, but that's not bad. I just had it set up there while I was trying to figure out the gear. But I gotta slide that bearing back onto here. And then the gear will have to be set up so that, what am I trying to say? So the chain and the gear can line up straight. So we'll get to that now. I got the bearing on. I don't know if it's in the right spot. I still got the locker loose, so I can slide it back and forth because I'm gonna put the gear on, line that up, and then I'll slide it into place and lock it. So I just got the bearing done completely because I put the locker collar on. I figured out where I needed to put it. I got the gear on here, pretty much. Now I gotta put the chain on, and then I gotta line it up perfectly. And then, man, it's so dark right here because this is just taking all the light away. But put that there. The gear and the chain I'll line up straight. I can still slide it forwards and back, but you can see there's a lot of wiggle right there. And that's because this gear's just wore out over the years. That's why I tack weld the gear to the keyway and to the shaft just a little bit so that it can't slide off. I just tack it, that way the keyway still does its job of snapping if it gets too intense, so it don't break up here or anything. And then that just kind of, the weld is just to hold it. I'm dropping everything. All right. The weld is just to hold it from coming off and to take the slop out of it. But that's pretty much all I have left there. And then Christoph's working on this truck. He just took one of the old tires because we put new tires on the front. We also shined it. And we're gonna shine all the rest of them. We've never done it before, and that needs a new hubcap. So it's gonna get that. The other one was all rusty, so we're gonna put a new one on. Then we're gonna shine all the stainless steel on it. Maybe we can make it look good again, like when we bought it. I finished the bale grinder. We just gotta pull it out tomorrow because it's dark and we got other stuff to do. Philip's doing an oil change on the feed skid steer because while the radiator's out, there's probably never an easier time to do it. And I tell you, it definitely hasn't been done in a long time. There's been a few 100 extra hours put onto that oil change. And then we're gonna do a hydraulic filter because, I mean, it's just there. And then maybe the fuel filters because we already got crap out. So that's what's going on here. And then we're doing some interesting stuff back here. Howdy. No.
So you could go back to work from that?
We're cleaning rims.
Yeah.
We are not certified to do this at all. This is about our third rim. And Christoph out here, he's head honcho.
Why me? I'm definitely not head honcho.
He is a professional rim cleaner.
On his knees.
All right.
I'm not a professional.
Hold on. Modify him.
Shaft's too long. It's too long. Safety first. I'm cutting away from my face. There we now it fits in here.
This one ain't back.
We're just wiping the last time. They just finished. This is like, doesn't look horrible. I mean, definitely could have done a better job, but we've never really done this.
Came with really nice rims.
Yeah,
Bought it.
corn stalks and mud do not keep anything looking good. But not bad.